What's up? It's your boy Austin Rutherford. I appreciate you being here. Today we're talking about this thing called retirement. I've heard everything you have to say about it. The good, the bad, the ugly, getting ready to retire, never being able to retire, whatever it is, I've heard everything you can say about retirement. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go over a new way to look at retirement, a different way to look at retirement. One where you actually will never run out of money. What people do a lot of times is stack up $1 million and then every year it dwindles. So I'm gonna give you a way where you never have to worry about running out of money again. And something that also will truly give you the freedom that you wanna do to travel and take the vacations and do the things that you want. So this is how we're taught to look at retirement from a very, very young age. It's go to high school, graduate and get a degree, then go to college, graduate from college at about 21, 22 years old, 23, whatever it is, graduate from college, go out and get a great job, work there for 20, 30, and then 40 years, maybe even a little bit more than 40 years to get to your retirement of 65 and then retire and live the life, the good old days of retirement. Newsflash, the average person only lives to the age of 79. So you retire at 65, you live until you're 79, so you only get to enjoy 14 years of your life. I don't know about you, but that sounds terrible to me. And then during those 40 to 45 years of working in corporate America, they tell you to save for retirement. They tell you to put money away, put money in self-directed IRAs, retirement accounts. They tell you to do all these things to save for retirement and then figure out how much money you need to live every year. So if you need, let's say, $80,000 to live the life that you want to live every year, you need to take from 65 to 85. Hopefully you live past 79, let's say 85. So 20 years times $80,000, that's how much money, that's the stack of money that you need to quote unquote retire on. That's how they teach it. Now keep in mind, when people come up with that $80,000 number, that's usually just living. It doesn't include things like going on the vacations that you want to go on, not to, Michigan's lake. I'm talking about the real vacations that you want, like Spain and the Caribbean and Hawaii. And what if you want to go on vacation all the time to go see your family? Or what if you want to get a vacation home in the place you've always dreamed of? Usually that $80,000 a year number that people come up with don't include the things that people actually want to do and enjoy in their retirement. Usually that number includes just living, which again, you work your entire life to get to retirement and then you just live. No, there's a better way out there. I promise you there is. And that's why we're here. So again, $80,000 from 65 to 85 is $1.6 million. So you can use $80,000 a year for the next 20 years of your life. And you need to save before the age of 65, you need to save $1.6 million. Now let's think about this. Let's say something crazy comes up. Like let's say you get an unexpected hospital bill of $70,000. Let's say unfortunately your house burns down and let's say you don't have the right insurance coverage and you're not covered all the way and you got to come out and spend $20,000, $30,000 to refurnish everything you had because it all burnt up in the fire. The way that you look at this, if you plan $1.6 million from the age of 65 to 85 and you have an unexpected bill, that means your life, the money you have left for your life just went to 84 years old. And then you have another unexpected bill and then it went to 83 years old. And you had another unexpected bill and it went to 82 years old. So you see how that can dwindle very, very quickly. And it can either make you run out of money while you're still alive or pass away earlier. To me, none of those options are ideal. And then let's take this other question into example. Let's say you live until you're 90. So you're 5 years past what you planned to save for retirement. Let's say you live till you're 90. You have two options. One is which you can start living on half of the desired income. So you can take that retirement life and cut it in half, which obviously is not a good ideal. Or number two, you can go back to work and get a job paying minimum wage, which again, you're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, going back and getting a minimum wage job to be able to live your life of retirement. And all these things I just said, this is the path that most people take to the route of retirement. They put it all up on chance. Most people honestly don't even have money saved for retirement. But let's say on the outside chance you had money saved, you had $1.6 million saved, still you're not living the life you want to live. And there's a risk truly of you actually running out of money in your retirement stages. So I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to show you a way that you can retire without ever having to worry about money again. So let's take that same $80,000 number a year to quote unquote live and come up with a different way of being able to come up with that money besides taking from that nest egg every single month and every single year. You can actually create something that pays you $80,000 a year and continues to grow year after year, and your money never dwindles or never shrinks. So there's a few options for this. You can build out a business completely and hire the right people to run the business for you in your retirement, and then they pay you an $80,000 a year salary. To me, there's a lot of moving pieces to this. You know, in a perfect world, everybody does their job. But 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna screw up and you're gonna have to step back in and solve the problem. So to me, this is a good decision. It's a good model because it pays you, but it's not the best model in my opinion. Or you can buy real estate. Let's say again, you take that $80,000 a year that you wanna make, you have to buy enough rental properties to cover that $80,000 a year for you, which would be $6,666 per month you would have to make to be able to make $80,000 a year. So if you profit $300 per door, you would need to have 22 rental properties to make you $6,666 per month just off of rental real estate. And I know you're already thinking, well, real estate has risks. What if the market goes down? What if the tenants tear it up? What if it does, if it goes unleased? What if I have to put money back into the property? All those things are very, very real things. So let's just say 30 rental properties. You need 30 rental properties because that's going to make you, $8,000, $9,000 a month. And then after those repairs, you'll still make the $6,666 a month. So 30 rental properties is what we're shooting for right here, which sounds like a lot, but wait a minute. That means from the age of 25 to the age of 55, you have to buy 1 house per year. When you say 30 rental properties, that seems like a lot. But when you break it down like that, it's 1 house a year. It's not that difficult to come by. 1 house a year from the age of 25 to the age of 55. And by the way, that means you're 55 making as much money as you need to make to quote unquote retire. So you can retire 10 years earlier. 10 years earlier, you can make that retirement decision. And by the way, when you turn 55, some of those houses that you bought way at the beginning of your career will be paid off. So instead of making $300 a month, you'll be making $600, $700, $800 a month, which means your income goes through the roof. So now instead of making that $80,000 a year when you turn 55 and you retire 10 years early, instead of making 80 grand a year, you're making 90 grand a year. And then a couple years later, you're making 100 grand a year. And then a couple years later, you're making $110,000 a year. Your income goes up over time instead of going down. And by the way, when you pass away, that income doesn't just poof and disappear. You can pass those on to your kids. That $80, $90, $100, $110,000 net profit every year coming in can go to your children. So they're making $100,000 plus a year from rental properties, and they own all these properties free and clear that you purchased. So they have over $3 million in net worth. So think about that. You just left your kids $100,000 a year salary for free and a $3 million net worth. Think about the lives that can change going down into your family, your kids, your kids' kids, your grandbabies, kids. It can absolutely change the game. So back to the beginning, instead of drawing on your retirement every single month and losing money every single month and getting smaller and smaller and smaller every single month, you make a few decisions early on in your life, just a few of them, when you're 20, 25 years old, 30 years old, and you start buying these rental properties, it will change your future forever and your entire family's future forever. And I'll even give you all the negatives right now to this. There's gonna be a lot of people talking like, well, that's not possible. What about this? What about that? So let's go over the negatives right now. First one is inflation. So your $100,000 a year isn't gonna be worth the same $100,000 30 years from now. And you're 100% accurate, it won't be. But you gotta understand, when inflation happens, all prices of everything goes up, which in this case would include your rent payment. Your rent payment will continue to go up when, by the way, your mortgage payment stays the exact same. So every month you make more and more money and your fixed expenses never change. So instead of making 100 grand a year, you'll go up with inflation and make $110,000, $120,000, $130,000 a year. So in essence, your net profit will still, the same value of that money will be the same even with inflation. And then you might be saying, well, what if tenants destroy the properties? Fantastic question, and it is guaranteed to happen. 100% guaranteed to happen. That's why instead of buying 22 houses to barely make enough money, we plan on buying 30 houses. So those additional 8 houses every month cover unknown expenses of tenants destroying your property. Well, what if the house burns down? You may be asking yourself that. That's why you carry insurance on the property. So if the house were to burn down, the insurance company would pay you out, and you can either rebuild the house and rent it again, or you can just take your money and move on and buy another property down the line. Well, what about paying, on the taxes? I make $100 grand a year, I gotta pay taxes. So I'm not a CPA here, so consult with your own CPA. I'm not offering tax or legal advice, but real estate has some really awesome benefits of writing stuff off to shield your income from the tax. So when you buy more real estate, you actually pay less in taxes. When you're continuing to buy real estate every single year, you're going to be paying less and less in taxes. What if, what if, what if, what if? You can sit there and ask all the what ifs in the world. But the one undeniable thing here is, the one thing that is absolutely undeniable is that real estate has created more millionaires in the world ever than anything else. And that's never going to change. It never has, it never will. Instead of stressing yourself every single day of your life, just start buying one house a year, one property a year to start building for your retirement, and your life will be a whole lot less stressful because of that. And let's say you're watching this and you may already be older, maybe too late for you to start buying real estate, but you can take that money that you had saved for retirement and lend it to other real estate investors. Real estate investors pay a hefty interest rate to borrow money from private money lenders like yourself. So that 1.6 mil, you can lend that out at, let's call it 10% interest, and make $160,000 per year in interest income, which again, is really easy to live off of. If you're only planning to live off of 80, now you make $160,000 a year, twice as much. It's a good lifestyle. And by the way, you keep that 1.6 mil of a nest egg that you had saved up, and you just keep lending it, and you keep making $160,000 a year. If you want to learn more about what that is, check this video here that talks about what private money lending is and how you can get involved in that. At the end of the day, retirement can be a lot easier, and you can enjoy it a lot more than stressing about it every single day if you take a couple of small steps in your life, early on in your life, to start setting yourself up for retirement the correct way. So I want to know what your thoughts are. If you're coming towards retirement, or maybe you're already in retirement, what are your thoughts on this? Did you do something in your life to prepare for this? Comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. And while you're down there, YouTube loves the algorithm of likes. Please hit that like button so we can get more content like this out to more people. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're down there, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.